Okay, here we go. Okay, so I will ask you some of these questions and then you can elaborate. And if you, just say as much as you want. I'll just edit out, whatever. Let me move.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, why have you done this course? Or why wouldn't you have done this course on, hold on. I'm wondering if I should do, let me do these parent ones for the children ones first. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, so Madison, we're so excited to hear from you. So share with us, what was one new thing that you learned when you were cooking?
Chopped up asparagus.
So you learned how to chop.
Yeah, chop.
You learned how to chop up vegetables.
Vegetables, yeah.
Awesome. And what was something that you were good at doing when you were cooking?
I was good at probably putting the spices in.
Awesome.
And mixing it.
Great. What was fun about cooking with your dad?
What was fun about it is because I was with him and we got alone time because we normally don't get that much time together.
Aw, that's awesome. And did you like to eat the meal? Was it yummy? Was it kid approved?
Yes, I loved it.
Aw, that's so good. And what is a skill you'd like to work on?
The skill I would like to work on is probably to do most of the stuff that my dad did, to be basically good at what he did and stuff, like the raw meat he chopped up and put in there. That was my part that I really wanted to do.
Cool. So you want to work on that? Yeah?
Yeah.
And would you like to do another different recipe? Like, was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
Do you think that you could do this meal all by yourself?
Yeah.
You think you could?
Yeah.
And would you want to do every Monday you're in charge of dinner? Would that be fun for you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks so much, Madison. We'll ask your dad some questions too.
Okay.
Hey, so Billy,
Hi.
what was your child able to do that you weren't expecting?
Like she said, chopping up the vegetables really surprised me. You don't usually see your kid go straight for the knife and you just go, oh, okay. It's kind of a little bit of a panic mode for a minute. And she picked up and kind of looked and had the knife on one part of the broccoli and said, is it here? Is it here? And so I just said yes. And I was like, slow down. And I kind of walked her through, here's how you do it. And she was very careful. She was very cautious. She was aware of what she was doing. So that really surprised me.
Awesome. And how many times do you think your child would need to practice this meal in order to do it on their own?
I think a lot of it depends on what you're using. We used chicken, broccoli, and asparagus. So if you were to use something like pork or beef or anything that has some fat on it, and you want to cut off those fatty parts and the gristle and everything, I think that you would need to practice it each time with, you would need at least probably 2 or 3 times with each kind of protein, chicken, beef, pork, just to let the kid know that, hey, we normally don't want to cook this part if we're really going for full healthy meals. So I think it would take a couple of times with each recipe that you would do, but Madison picked up on it really well.
Awesome. And what was fun for you about this online course?
It was fun because, like she said, it gives you that one-on-one time with your kids, and it it turns into not just talking about what you're cooking and what you're doing, but you have those little small talks, and it's important to explain to them, this is why we're cooking this is why we use this is why we cut this out, so that they learn. But then those little small talks that you have with your kids, I think are often underrated and underappreciated, and you find out so much. You get to know your kids so much more when you're just the little interactions. So it was a lot of fun.
Cool. And are you willing to do this again?
Oh yeah, we've already talked about other ways that we could plan different kinds of meals. Madison actually took really well to asparagus, and again, kind of a surprise because it's in the days of McDonald's being so readily available. It was a lot of fun to go out and to shop for the stuff, to let her see exactly what we spent on the meal and compare that to what we would spend on a fast food joint. And I think it was really neat to show them that this is what we cook, this is how we do it, this is how much healthier it is. And I think at a young age, establishing those healthy habits,
Mm-hmm.
It really gives them room to grow into more healthy habits.
Cool. I love that. Madison, you guys did awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to see if your dad will answer a couple more questions for me. And so if I can give you the freedom to go play. Do you want to go play? Awesome. And then, okay, great. So I'm going to ask you like 4 or 5 questions, and then if you would share your testimonial with me, without me asking the questions each time. I don't know what's going to be best, and I want it to come from you too. So these are some of the questions that I was thinking of. Why haven't you adventured to doing this on your own? Like, what would hold you back? Like, why didn't you do it without me without me
right
as part of the process? Anyway, that's one of the questions. Another, what did this mini course help you with? And you don't have to use the word mini course or course. I am going to have, as you saw from the book, I'm going to do a 5-series course after this. And so they're going to have the opportunity to do more. So what did this course help you with? And how did you handle the process? With me personally, my interactions and the trust factor, how could you, I want to build trust with the people who don't know me. So something in that realm. And then would you recommend me for this course? Okay. So I just want you to go ahead and those in the back of your brain, just share everything that so it's easy when I help clients. What was it like before you got healthier? What was it like? What are the benefits now? So what was it hard before we got together versus what we're able to do now?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have 3 children, and we keep our kids very involved in extracurricular activities. Oftentimes, that comes with a 5 o'clock dance class, a 6 o'clock dance class, and then sometimes a 7 o'clock dance class, soccer practice. So it's often easier, more convenient to fall into that dangerous trap of there's McDonald's, there's Taco Bell, let's just grab something really quick because we don't have the time. It was great to get into this recipe because it really took no time at all. It was very healthy. It was something that we could pick up on our normal grocery store trip, and we were able to get it done in about the same time that we have breaks between all of these, hectic schedules with kids. And so that barrier, the convenience barrier, really stopped us from, can we do this? And it was good to get into this recipe and find out that the time that it actually takes, and the health benefits from it versus just a Big Mac and super sugary sweet tea or something like that. This was much healthier. This was much easier, and the cost, it was great. We were able to get the entire recipe done, as well as learning things with Madison Some of the struggles were things like measurements. So you would have a teaspoon here and then a tablespoon there. And so when a 9-year-old is just getting into this and looking at those measurements, oftentimes I would have to explain, okay, this is the abbreviation for teaspoon. This is the abbreviation for tablespoon. This is kind of how you can measure it. This is, a thumbnail, if you just want to eyeball it. So we were able to do that. We found so much value in this, in the sense that it was great because I understand the health benefits. I understand the eating right. But kids and their 9-year-old's metabolism is completely different from mine. And so oftentimes they can say, well, I'm healthy. I eat fast food. I do this. But as they get older, that's, it's already hurting them health-wise. And so it was great that I got this recipe, and just Jennifer's excitement, just the enthusiasm really brings you to this recipe, really brings you to this idea of let's sit down and let's cook this meal. Because it's one thing to say, here's this recipe, you should try it. It's another thing to say, this has worked for me, I'm excited for it to work for you. That really helps kind of push somebody along who's hesitant, and just to see that excitement and that enthusiasm and that achievement at the end was really great. And I think that was very valuable, not only for me but for my daughter too, because she was able to see those healthy habits. She was able to kind of get some confidence in herself to say, I can do this now. I can cut up the asparagus. I can mix these spices together. If we don't have all of the spices, now I've learned that I can, instead of using my Google to find slime videos, I can use Google to see what can I substitute for kosher salt. So it gives kids the resources, and I think that's fantastic, because we didn't have that when I was a kid. You had to actually find a book and find a recipe, and now all of this stuff is so readily available to them. And it was really, really valuable for her to learn that all of this information is accessible to her, and it really excited her. It really motivated her to want to do it more and more. We would love to do it again. We've cooked several times between now and then. They always want to get their hands on it now. They always want to, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? And it's always something well within their means. They're not going to go outside of what they're not comfortable with. And the more that they do it, the more that they find themselves learning, growing, and getting more comfortable with being in charge of cooking their own dinner and staying healthy. So it was fantastic, and I would recommend it to anybody. Mothers with their daughters and sons. I know as a daddy-daughter date night, that was fantastic. Cooking a healthy meal and then being able to share it with the rest of the family and say, we did this. It was a great outcome, and we would highly recommend it.
Awesome. Would you also talk about, did you go through the ebook?
But we did briefly. I think Madison and I were more excited to get right into it. We're both very hands-on people. So we read about it. We talked about what we were going to do, what we wanted to learn from it, and Madison has really wanted to learn what foods give better energy. She's very active. So we went through the book, and then we went through the recipe a couple of times, and then we went through our spice cabinets and everything, and followed the steps and got everything prepped and went start to finish, and it turned out great.
Awesome. And how would you also address the topic of, like, if you were able to transfer this skill to Madison, how would this save you time? So go ahead on that.
As a parent who is dealing with a 2-year-old, an almost 5-year-old, and a 9-year-old, our time between homework and extracurriculars and keeping the house clean is very limited. And it would be a great resource the more Madison can learn, and the more that Mia can learn, and the more that Michael can learn as they get older, to not only be able to cook their own food, but to cook their own food and understand the health benefits and some of the downfalls of not eating healthy. I don't know if you can really put a value on it. It's kind of an invaluable thing where if Madison could cook her own meal, say Monday, and we know that she understands what's healthy, what's not, what the process is, how to prep it, how to cook it, how to know when it's done, how to check it, frees us up for more time to not only spend more family time together outside of both parents cooking, then cleaning, then bedtime. It gives us more family time, and it gives us more activity time. It gives our family time to grow together, and I think that giving kids that skill and that freedom to take control of their own health and their own cooking and their own meal planning is such a great value that it's hard to put it to words.
You're the best. The best. Thank you. I am going to work on, by the way, I'm done.
Okay.
That's fantastic. Well, I wonder if you should do one more thing too. Okay. In 1 minute, can you summarize everything you said? We'll do that. And then I wanted to share with you to thank you for all your work and time. If you would like to go through, I would be happy to share with you the next course that gives you there's 5 recipes with 5 videos and all of those things. And there's a bunch of links, and I wonder if the links work. And so if you wanted that, I'd be happy to share with you as well.
Okay, so in the 1 minute, you want me to summarize what
Everything
I just
you
said
said
about
from
the value,
today.
or everything?
Like all of it together. Like if you were going to recommend this to a buddy and you had like 1 minute to talk, what would you say that would help them really want to do it? Like, and how it really has impacted you or whatever.
Okay. Okay, so whenever ready. Having the time and having the resources for my kids to be able to cook a healthy meal by themselves, something simple and easy that they can understand, is so valuable that it's hard to put to words. It gives us more family time. It gives us a healthier meal choice at the end of the day. It's an easy recipe to accomplish well within a 30 to 45 minute time window. And it was really a lot of fun to interact and watch the process from start to finish, and watch the kids' excitement as they start to grow into a healthy eater, a healthy cooker, and also to watch the pride that they took in the outcome when they could serve it as a family and she could smile and say, "I did this." It was amazing. I would recommend it to anybody. It was so worth the time that is just something you can't really put a value on, but you know it's there, and you see it in the faces, in the plates, in the empty plates, that it goes quick, and it was fantastic.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I am working on the rest of the book, and I will send that out to you when I'm done, and all of it should be there. So
All right.
Thank you. Have a wonderful Saturday, and just really I don't know, you're a good guy, because not every guy is willing to do something like this for someone.
We had fun. We had so much fun.
Thank you.
And actually, because of this, if I remember correctly, I think we have even more fresh asparagus. Yep. So we have fresh broccoli in our fridge, and we have fresh asparagus. You name me a 9-year-old who demands to have fresh broccoli and fresh asparagus, who not only we're just going to buy it, but she says, "Can we get it?" I mean, that's something that you take a lot of pride and joy in.
So cool. Okay,
Yep.
you have a good one. Thank
You
you.
too, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, bye.